You were talking about having partnerships in the surf world and the free
Yes.
dive world, and I wanted to know how the relationship with Rourke developed, and
Yep.
then also like uh, you know, what benefit or what value do they add for you and what you're doing, and then what benefit or value do you add for them? What does that exchange look like?
Sure. So, I mean, my childhood between like ages 10 and 20 was competitive surfing. It was like what I did before I went to university. It was like what I wanted to do. And I lost interest in that side because I I was kind of like, well, this isn't for me. It's losing the fun in it for me. I had perfect empty waves in Australia with marine life all around me, and I was going and surfing in heats where the surf was bad and I wasn't having a good time. And over the last 10 years, I steered away. Like I've always surfed. I've always surfed like most days or a couple times a week. It's remained a huge part of my life, but I steered away from the surfing industry for a long time because for a while there, it wasn't the path I wanted to go down in regards to the brands and the values that I represented, like being environmentally friendly, which seems crazy because the surfing industry relies on the health of the ocean. And only in the last 5 years, I've seen a huge flip. Like it's now, now a lot of people are like, okay, we got to care, we got to make ethical products, we got to make sustainable products. And so for years, I said no to a lot of partnership opportunities because people were like, okay, you're now respected in the conservation space. Your whole priority is conservation and, marine conservation. And so for a brand, I'm beneficial to them because people, if I'm promoting a product, people trust my opinion because I'm really cutthroat with, if I don't agree with something, I'm upfront about it. Um, I don't promote things I don't believe in. I don't promote things that I don't think are wholly supporting everything I stand for. And so I've only ever worked with like two or three partners, and usually that's, if I'm working with a brand or a partner, it has to be like they have to support me as a whole, not just one part. Like me as a free diver, and I'm kind of like a surfer and a free diver, but then I also do my conservation work. And by having some form of income from a brand or from content, for me, that means that I can then go and do that work and live. And so that's a benefit for me, obviously, but also the benefit for me is telling the surfing industry, which is their audience, or the freediving industry, or the, like I work with a watch company as well that have like an audience of an entirely different audience. And my opportunity there is to tell them about, like they might see a video of me freediving with a whale or surfing in a spot and there's all these animals around, and my opportunity there is to tell them the story and make them realize it's a way bigger picture than what they may already know. um, and with Rock, they were like immediately kind of on my radar because I always like working with companies that are not so, they're not like big corporate juggernauts, like kind of in, and that work with just anybody. And, they're just based around sort of like certain, they don't really go after values, a lot of the big companies. Whereas I always look for companies that are focusing on like sustainable products, products that last. They're open to like working with you on signature ranges, and they're interested in supporting your story. So like my story is quite unique. It's not like other people in the surfing world, where I live, what I do, the fact that I also dive. Um, and so I wanted to work with a brand that can like help me capture that story. So if we're going and shooting like a product range or something, we can go somewhere that I would love to go anyway, and we can tell the story for their brand and have their clothes that also are aligned with me, or surfwear or whatever. And but the story is where we are and what we're doing and what I'm passionate about, and that means that we're telling a broader audience that story. And so Rourke, when I originally had meetings with them, they were they're just the nicest people and so genuine, and that was really, really like nice. Nice for me to be involved with already. And I think the first trip I went on, um, when I met Dana, like we just became great friends already. And that's like, it's like meeting people through the company that immediately become friends. It's like, it's epic. It's super fun for me.
Yeah.
And the other people that they work with also, I think, are epic and telling their own unique story. And they're not following they're telling their own story and following their own path. They're not trying to conform with anything. They're unique
Yeah.
in their own way. And I really like being involved with brands that like focus on having unique individuals kind of thing.